Hi, my name is Kelly Maloney and I'm a Senior Product Manager at Coreworx. Today we're going to talk about using interface management to mitigate interface-related integration issues. Here we are showing a sample project and the execution strategy that's been put in place. As you can see, the strategy chosen for this project has resulted in multiple scopes of work using a mix of various contracting strategies. These strategies can increase the opportunity to save costs and reduce risk, but they also introduce interdependencies, which can increase risk with respect to project integration. Avoiding integration issues is critical, and the best way to avoid is to ensure effective and ongoing communication. However, the challenge for many projects is that the contractors have no contractual relationship with one another, but it's so very critical that they collaborate to avoid potential issues. With the increasing number of stakeholders, interface management is an essential process that forces communication and collaboration across your delivery teams. And Coreworx Interface Management provides a structured process to facilitate this communication and collaboration. Interfaces play a role in ensuring alignment between technical compliance and system integrity. To ensure technical compliance, teams must meet regulatory requirements. Elevation, temperature, pressure, the materials, the equipment, these are all common examples of design information that must be confirmed and agreed to when managing an interface. Coreworx interface points provide a means to establish, define, and control interfaces, and to document detailed design information. This data is often exchanged as first preliminary and then final as the design progresses. Therefore, it's important that interface points track a revision history as the design is developed and approved by the client. Many different types of integration points exist that will result in the exchange of information between parties as they develop the interface. Interface agreements are used to exchange this information, mitigating integration issues by facilitating open lines of communication. At Coreworx, we provide templates that can be tailored to meet the specific requirements of each project. For example, interface points are used to ensure parties understand what design data is required and also ensure compliance to engineering standards by providing a common unit of measurement, which is important in eliminating ambiguity when dealing with global contractors. Let's look at how Coreworx supports this. All right, so here we are in Coreworx and we're looking at a sample interface point. Within the Coreworx system, interface points are used to document and describe an interface, identify the responsible parties, as well as that scope split or delineation at each of these interfaces. Within Coreworx, every document is assigned a unique document number. Revisions are managed, so as this interface point is updated, we're going to track all previous revisions so you have that historical representation. But what we want to look at today and what we're talking about is that key technical design data that's so very important to avoid integration issues at your project interfaces. Here we're looking at an example of a piping interface. So the fields that you see here are relevant, of course, to that type of interface. And these fields are dynamically displayed on the interface point form and are driven by the discipline chosen for the interface. As this information is agreed to, it is important that this information is updated on the interface point to reflect the decisions that have been made. And of course, each and every time that these interface technical data fields are updated, this document is going to go through a review and approval process. This is very important. We need to ensure that we keep all stakeholders involved. And it also, as the project sponsor or owner, it gives you the ability to be kept informed. Now, you can be directly involved in the review and approval process, or you can simply notify it as these updates are made. As you can see on the Coreworx form, we are going to track a audit trail or history grid. So each and every time this document is updated and it goes through that review and approval process, we're going to track who reviewed, who updated, where clarification was required. And the final thing I'd like to point out here too is the interface agreement process. So interface agreements are used to track those formal commitments and that collaboration that's occurring as information is being updated and exchanged between the interfacing parties. This interface point gives you that visibility to all of the formal commitments that have been made. You can see each interface agreement, you can see the activity by phase of the project, and you can also see quickly what the current status is of that particular deliverable or exchange of information. If we click on the interface agreement, we can take a closer look. All right, so as you can see within Coreworx as well, for the interface agreement form, it will be assigned a unique document number. Revisions are also applicable to interface agreements. Remember, we talked about that preliminary versus final information, so interface agreements can go through updates as well. And as with the interface point form, the interface agreement will also track that history or audit trail. So again, you get that clear transparency and visibility as to the life cycle of the interface agreement and the acceptances and the clarifications that were created throughout its life cycle. And again, much like the interface point form, as the project owner or sponsor, you have the ability to be directly involved, where you're actually endorsing the requests and the responses that are made for each and every interface agreement, or you can choose to be notified when certain key events occur within the system, like a new interface agreement is created or a response is issued. Okay, I'd like to show you how the creation of a new interface point in the system can dynamically display that technical design data for each interface. I mentioned Coreworx supports a template process that can be modified to meet the unique requirements of every project. And for example, if I choose to create a piping interface, we can see that the technical design data or technical fields that are displayed for that interface are unique to a piping discipline. If we scroll back up and I change that, we can change that to, say, for an example, a civil interface. Scroll back down, and now we can see how the technical fields are dynamically displayed and are unique to a civil interface. So this is very powerful in ensuring that as the project sponsor or project lead, you can guarantee that you're capturing the correct information to ensure that consistent design at each and every interface. Also very important to the process and avoiding those integration issues and ensuring that you have that alignment is to facilitate regular interface verification meetings. Using Coreworx and the online register is a great tool to facilitate these meetings. Project teams can identify the interfaces between two interfacing groups, pull up a list of the interfaces that are applicable to those two parties, and then review each one individually to ensure completeness and accuracy before the interface points transition into the next phase of the project. All right, so that was a pretty quick look at how Coreworx can help support that open lines of communication and ensure that that technical design data is captured for each interface. Communication is really essential to ensure success when you're managing project interfaces. Collaboration among your delivery teams to align on key design data will help mitigate interface integration issues and also helps to ensure compliance to regulatory standards and guidelines. Projects are dynamic and complex, and change is going to be continuous. Facilitating regular interface verification reviews using the online register is going to ensure you have continued and ongoing alignment, as well as keep stakeholders informed through automated notifications. For more information on Coreworx Interface Management, please visit our website or request a demo today.